question, what if Azathoth was real? Azathoth is Lovecraft's version of the creator god, similar to the Abrahamic god found in the Bible or the Quran. The being is described in 1931's The Whisperer in Darkness as the monstrous nuclear chaos beyond angled space. It should be noted that in this case, it's believed nuclear referred not to nuclear energy, but rather to the nucleus of the cosmos. This is because nuclear energy was not an idea that would have been known to Lovecraft at the time. In terms of its appearance, there wasn't a huge amount of information given in the mythos. This is largely because Azathoth wouldn't be understood by mortal beings, since it's said to occupy a position outside of the universe. It is said that Azathoth remains in an eternal slumber like Cthulhu. However, when it awakes, Azathoth wouldn't start taking over worlds or driving people insane like Cthulhu. Our universe would cease to exist, since we exist within its dreams. Of course, if Azathoth remained asleep, it's likely that the universe would be largely unaffected. The mythos describes Azathoth as being completely uninvolved in the way the universe functions. Not only does it not care about the many planets and creatures living within its dreams, it is completely unaware of their existence. This was part of the reason it's called the blind idiot god. However, some believe that even though Azathoth is unaware of our existence and doesn't consciously manipulate the universe, he can still influence it greatly. Many accounts hold that as Azathoth shifts and moves in its sleep, whole galaxies can be wiped out, and laws of physics can be turned on their heads. If the stability of the universe depended on the subconscious thoughts and movements of this god, it could be that the universe would be a very unpredictable place, even if the great god remained asleep. However, if Azathoth awoke, many believe that our universe as we know it would blink out of existence, no longer being sustained by the dreams of this great god. Some have related this to the story behind the Red King in Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass, who was believed by some to be the true dreamer in the story, rather than Alice. This idea of depending on the creator to remain asleep might sound rather terrifying at first, but when you think about it, this isn't particularly difficult from some understandings of the universe. If we look just at the Earth, we know that the Earth will eventually be engulfed by the sun as it goes supernova. That's assuming we haven't destroyed it ourselves by then. Some even believe it likely that our universe will eventually blink out of existence, whether it's through the ending of a simulation or a return back to a singularity. However, the fact that Azathoth could wake up at any time makes this particular story even more troubling. It should be noted that while this is probably the most widely accepted theory as to what exactly Azathoth is, there are alternate interpretations of the god. Lovecraft was, after all, extremely vague in describing it. Some believe it to be a giant beast residing at the center of the universe as the king of gods. This is more comparable to a Greek or Roman pantheon, roughly equating Azathoth to Zeus or Jupiter, rather than the god of the Bible. Still, others believe that by claiming that the Cthulhu mythos exists within the dreams of Azathoth, that it was actually the reader who is Azathoth. By reading and thinking and dreaming about the world created by Lovecraft, we bring it to life in a way. By this definition, Azathoth does exist, since we humans exist, at least as far as we know. And now we return to our question, what if Azathoth was real? Well, if he remained asleep, there may not be a huge amount of change, since by some accounts it would be uninvolved in our universe. However, it's possible that interruptions in the dream or movements in its sleep could cause significant and unpredictable changes throughout the universe. And if it awoke, it would be so long, and thanks for all the fish. Our universe would be gone, and Azathoth would have the longest, most satisfying pee ever after such a long sleep. Thank you for watching Life's Biggest Questions. I hope this was interesting and informative, and maybe even inspired you to look into it further on your own. If you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe to the channel down below. While you're down there, let me know what you would do if Azathoth was real. Until next time, I'm Ron Mackenzie Lafergie with Life's Biggest Questions, wishing you the best of luck on your quest for answers.
When two worlds collide, am I right? You likely have heard of the upcoming Godzilla vs. King Kong film that has started trending as of late, and like many others, I'm excited to relive my childhood. I remember watching both films as a kid and also playing a game, I think it was on Xbox, where you played as Godzilla and fought other monsters such as Mothra and Mechagodzilla. It's just so much fun. So when the news broke of this monster match between two of the biggest and scariest going head-to-head in 2021, with all the new CGI and effects they have now, of course it's going to be a fun time. And of course there was the original film titled the same, released in 1962, but this one isn't a remake as much as it is the same idea within the new monster universe they've created. Today on LBQ, we're asking, what if King Kong fought Godzilla? Smash that like button, and I will say answers may vary from what the movie shows. Who knows? Alright, so in one corner we got King Kong. He's a massive ape. We're talking about 100 feet plus, at least according to the most recent film, Kong Skull Island. He's big, he's strong, and he's ruthless. It takes a lot to get this beast down. But there is one monster who may be up to the task. In the other corner, we got Godzilla, standing anywhere from a couple hundred feet to almost 1,000 feet tall, depending which film or media we refer to. This monster has the ability to live on land or underwater. Aside from this, Godzilla has a fire breath of sorts, which is really an atomic breath and much more destructive than fire. He's also incredibly durable, and although not indestructible, some may seem to think so. And given that we're going with the most recent Kong film to size up the big old ape, let's keep it the same monster universe, which means Godzilla, according to the recent film Godzilla King of the Monsters, stands at 393 feet tall. It was the film prior, Godzilla Planet of the Monsters, that saw him at 984 feet, for some reason. However, this is not a part of the previously mentioned monster universe. So these two face off, and the real easy answer is that Godzilla absolutely beats the out of King Kong. Kills him. Dead. Easy. No problems at all. He's triple Kong size. I'm not sure what damage Kong can really do to Godzilla. However, for some reason in the trailer, they appear to be relatively evenly sized, in regards to height at least. So we'll go along with this narrative that both these monsters are the same size and decide to fight, so they're the last two warriors left from an ancient war. Of course, they're both fighting for different teams, which means ultimately only one can remain, crowning the victor of the battle and war. So these two go head-to-head. Who wins? Well, that all depends on where this happens. Of course, as per the movie's trailer, it shows the two of them fighting both on land and water. I think the realistic and safe bet is to say that if these two fought in the water, Godzilla would likely win fairly easily. Given his speed advantage, as well as being able to breathe underwater, something obviously Kong can't do, it seems Godzilla would have too many advantages to easily give him a win in this battle. However, if the two fought on land, well, that's a different story. Not to say by any means that it's a walk in the park for Kong, because it certainly would not be. In fact, I can't even say for sure who would win the battle of these two on land, as it depends on a lot of variables. Who gets hit first? Who has the better abilities? Although again, it seems Godzilla wins there. But Kong is incredibly strong, and like an ape, not easy to take down at all. Specifically referencing the atomic breath, it seems in the previous Godzilla vs. King Kong film from 1962, Kong was somewhat resistant, although it was noted a direct blast could kill him. Much like Godzilla, Kong is incredibly durable and smart, quickly figuring out his opponent's weakness and attacking. As previously mentioned, numerous factors and variables go into deciding who wins this one, and although I've always liked Kong over Godzilla, it seems Godzilla would inevitably win this one, simply due to the fact that he is less likely to worry about his surrounding environment. As we've seen with Kong in the films, he's not so aggressive, and is actually somewhat gentle to those who aren't trying to bring him harm. With this in mind, it's more likely than not that Kong finds himself somewhat compromised, trying not to injure any innocent civilians around him. Maybe he doesn't think twice about the people and just focuses on the giant monster trying to kill him. I really can't say for sure, guys. What I can say for sure is that if these two were to go at it, wherever that battle would take place, well, it would be completely destroyed. It would seem almost as if an entire war had broken out. Assuming that every time these two strike each other and one falls, craters form in the streets. Obviously, surrounding buildings and properties would be completely wrecked and potentially used as a form of weapon. The monsters could either use the buildings as a blunt object or throw their opponent into them. Surely this would cause earthquakes of insane magnitude to affect the surrounding areas of wherever this fight were to take place. And if there were large bodies of water nearby, that likely means tsunamis would form as well. Bundle all of the unnaturally caused natural disasters along with these two 100-foot monsters beating each other up, and you got yourselves a completely destroyed city, likely country, because they're pretty big. I'm sure they go like across the whole country. Really depends where the fight happens. All in all, guys, it's no good. That's safe to say. Now, as always, let me know your thoughts on this one down below, and who you think would win the battle of these two. For now, let's find some comments from the video. Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao. Who will win? C said Ryan is flat-footed, so he kind of doesn't really have a chance against Manny. I wouldn't say he doesn't have a chance, but like Manny is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the best boxers, so I'm going to say Manny probably wins. LP2 Scope said they said Luke Campbell would be his first challenge, and he was. He knocked Ryan down. He got a good shot on Ryan, and Ryan proved that he could get back up, so it was a challenge. They said Ryan is who I'm going to root for because he grew up where I lived, but I honestly think he should wait. He's not on that level yet. Who let this happen? Damn. Money talks, I guess? I don't know. Like, Garcia's an up-and-coming name. You know, he always wanted to fight Pacquiao. It's an exhibition, so it won't even go against his record if he loses, so why wouldn't he do it? Like, it's like, I'm trying to think of the equivalent as an actor. It's almost like, I guess, if I got the opportunity to star to star alongside one of my favorite actors, but then all my movie parts got cut out. Like, it would suck, but I still get to experience acting next to my favorite actor. That's all I really care about, right? So, hopefully that makes sense. Probably not. Anyways, guys, that's all for this one. We'll see you soon. prehistoric gorilla living on an island in the middle of the Indian Ocean with other prehistoric dinosaurs roaming around. What's there not to love? If you've seen any of the King Kong films or any film featuring Kong, then you likely know his appearance and size tend to vary, but for the most part, he's just a very large, incredibly strong gorilla, or so it seems. Maybe it's what the prehistoric Gigantopithecus looked like. Maybe these King Kong-looking apes were in fact real, and we're just fortunate enough to live in a time where they've gone extinct. Either way, we got to talk about one of my favorites and an absolute classic today on Life's Biggest Question.